All right, guys. So our final topic here today is going to be we're gonna try to power through this one. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but we're going to try to. We've run on. The Justice League talk went longer than expected. It's been a long show. We're going to try to power through this. It's the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're going to give our quick thoughts, discuss some of it, predict where everything's going to happen. It's kind of hard to give predictions. There wasn't a whole lot of. I don't know. We'll get into it though. I gotta say though, the Falcon Winter Soldier though came out, and it did not disappoint for me. I thought they did a really good job with it. I think it's still rightfully though it didn't do anything. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I said it earlier in this video. Ever since the Loki trailer came out, that became my most anticipated Marvel MCU Disney Plus show. Forever before that, it was always Falcon Winter Soldier until the Loki trailer. Then it became Loki. And even now, after seeing episode 1 of Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm still looking more forward to Loki. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I love the show. In particular, the things that stood out for me the most is the stuff with Bucky. I want more of that. Like, Bucky is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. So anything with him, like, I'm super interested in. Not that I'm not interested in anything with Falcon. I just think the Bucky character is a more interesting character. But they're obviously laying down the groundwork for Sam Wilson. You know, they're giving him that back. We never really had the backstory for Sam Wilson. He just kind of showed up. You know, he showed up and he's portrayed as being slower than Captain America, and that's how you're introduced to him. That's pretty much it. And then from there, he's just pretty much like the quippy sidekick for. And he has more stuff to do than that, but that's kind of like all we really had with him, character depth wise. And he got most of his character development, ironically, with Winter Soldier more so than Steve until the end of Endgame, really. Like, 'cause otherwise, he just kind of floated in the background for most of it. Even though he was always somewhat front and center, the actual character Sam Wilson was always in the back seat to, the quippy Falcon character. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think
Yeah.
that was okay. Because like we obviously know Falcon, but like we don't know Sam Wilson. But with Bucky, we know Bucky, we know Falcon, or we know Bucky and we know Winter Soldier like intimately. So like I think Winter Soldier is a great character, and I think Sebastian Stan plays him excellent, like just
Yeah.
excellent. Like I love everything he does with the Bucky character. So I loved all the stuff with him. I really liked the freaking opening scene though, dude. On with like Falcon flipping around through the air, like that stuff was great. Like that was movie quality
Oh, that was
action like stuff.
definitely. That was a big movie action scene. Yeah, that was great. And the way he used the suit and his, quote unquote powers,
Right.
was just there was some really inventive stuff in there that I just loved. I was like, oh, that was nice. That was
I loved
great.
everything he did with the wings as like shields and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. Like just the
There
way,
was
even the way it looked, like let alone like the practicality of it, just the way it looked was cool.
yeah, there was the scene where he grabs one of the guys and he like uses the booster on the jet to boost
Hmm.
himself inside the plane and ram the guy right into like a crate or something and
Yeah,
knock him out. That was a great scene.
yeah, it was super. I was literally gonna say the same thing. Like he literally like activates it enough to like kick him and stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was intricate. It all made sense. It was easy to follow too. Like despite them like zipping around, everything with Red Wing was good. Like,
Yep.
Red Wing had even more to do than he did in, the beginning of Age of Ultron. He had some upgrades, dude. He had missiles.
Yep.
He had little machine guns, like,
Mhm.
he was cool. Like, and everything was really good with it. Batroc didn't really do anything. He did leap out of the I like it anytime Batroc was seen leaping was, like, my favorite part because he's the leaper, so it's like
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just, like, if they did that on purpose, but, like, I feel like they had to have because it was just it was I
Mhm.
don't know, he just leaps out the plane, then he leaps out of this, and he doesn't do anything else. It was funny. This Torres dude, though, we talked about this at the end, or during stream. Like, he apparently in the comics becomes Falcon, so I don't know if they're gonna go that route. I guess I'll just kinda jump into prediction stuff now. I don't know if they're gonna go that way because they also had, like, they name dropped was it Isaiah Thomas or Isaiah Johnson?
Yep.
They name drop I forget, but they name dropped, like, the first, African American Captain America who, like, the government just, like, buried and they just experimented on people and, like, the super soldier serum worked on him. I don't know much about him in the comics, but that's the story, it
Yeah.
worked, but no one ever knew it worked, essentially. And, but they name dropped him, then so I don't know, like, with I don't know if they're gonna do anything with that with because they got that going on. They got that name drop in, then they introduced US Agent, but then we also have Falcon and Winter Soldier who are also, like like, one of them are gonna be the new Captain America, but we have US Agent, and then is Torres gonna be Falcon at some point? All possibilities on the table. I don't know,
Yeah.
where do you see any of this stuff going? Like, I know it's, like, really early to tell, but, like, after everything there's been a lot of setup, so, like, they could go a lot of different ways.
I would be very surprised, and I'm not trying to. I hope this doesn't ruin anything for anybody, but I'd be very surprised if we don't come out of this series with Sam as the new Captain America.
Yeah.
Sam, and that was one of the, you know, WandaVision just tugged at my heartstrings and played with my emotions virtually every episode. But I felt like it was supposed to in a way. It was a love story between those two characters. It's the emotional roller coaster that Wanda's been going through. This I kind of felt like going into it was going to be more your standard Marvel action, film, more intrigue, more the espionage aspect of it, which it was to a great deal. But even this one, they got me. Like that, the last scene, watching Sam watch them hand the shield that he had been given. Cap chose Sam. Sam was the one person that was supposed to carry on the legacy, and to see the government tell Sam he wasn't good enough and that he wasn't worthy of the shield, and him to agree to that, to do what he thought was right by Steve and retire the shield, and then to see all that, just to have him have to watch that on TV and the lack
Mhm.
of respect or consideration or just decency that he has shown after everything he's done, and him doing the right thing, what he felt in his heart of heart was the right thing, is just it's heartbreaking. And
You feel it,
so
yeah.
I would be shocked if by the end of the series we don't have Sam deciding that you're right, that for right or wrong, the world does need a Captain America, and accepting that Steve wanted it to be him, and accepting that he's good enough and should be the next Cap. So that's, I mean, if we're making very early predictions, that's where I'm at, because I don't think Bucky wants it. I don't think Bucky wants it. I don't think Bucky would take it. I think Bucky is his own man. Bucky's dealing with, as we see throughout this episode, this is the first time Bucky's ever had a chance to deal with his issues, his own
Yeah.
stuff. And so he's trying to deal with that right now. And I think the last thing he wants to do is take up a role that he doesn't want, and that he knows that, Steve selected Sam for. I mean, you have that scene at the end of Endgame where Bucky and Sam are standing next to each other, and Bucky tells Sam, he says, He's here for you. You go ahead. Like,
Yeah.
that's for you." He even knows in that moment, I think because he knows Steve so well, that he knows that that's who Steve would choose. So anyway, yeah.
No, for sure. I would find it hard to believe that that's not where the show's going. Because I mean, with everything that happened in this episode, that's the logical setup. Like, because
Mhm.
like, now it's like they're obviously gonna be at odds with this US agent guy. We're gonna have to figure out if US agent is, like, an actual, like, villain or if he's just an antagonist, maybe he's just a guy who's just regular military dude who got assigned the thing, like, just another job,
Sure.
and he's just gonna try to do everything he can possibly do. He could be a great guy. He could be, like, the Punisher, you know what I mean? He could be, like, some weird fascist dictator in the role, just, like, going around killing people, like, doing doing Captain America the way Steve Rogers would never do Captain America kind of thing. He could
Yeah.
do that. Like, so I don't know. That's really the only question mark that I have with US Agent. It's just like, what way are they going to go with
Mhm.
that? Because they're obviously going to be at odds with him at some point, because we know they get the shield back at some point too. Because we saw it in the
Sure.
trailers where they're throwing it around like themselves, and we didn't get that here. He gave it away. So they obviously get the shield
Although
at some point.
Although, I will say with regards to that, and we forgot to talk about this during our Justice League segment,
True.
Justice League, as Marvel has done before, had a line in the trailer, had a moment in the trailer that didn't actually appear in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
so you go back to Infinity War with the Hulk showing up in the in battle scene, and he obviously doesn't show up in Infinity War. In the trailer for the in battle scene of Infinity War, Hulk is in the group shot, which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't actually take place in the movie. And then with the Justice League trailer, the Joker has a line that he says, we live in a society where, where honor isn't a thing anymore, or something like that.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
that line doesn't actually appear in the Justice League film. So just because it was in the trailer, while I think that that's probably a scene that will happen, it doesn't mean it necessarily is. So
It might not though, because like you make a good point. Because that you got to think they've had the shield for some time now, so that
yeah,
could have been prior to them giving up the shield that they were
yeah,
throwing the shield out back. Like who the hell knows? Like, because it
yep.
could be a flashback. It could be something that
Flashback
was.
too. Yep.
Who knows? So I mean, it's a good
Yeah.
point. It might not be, but yeah, I feel like they're gonna get the shield back at some point.
Sure.
He's gonna have to if he's gonna be Captain America at the end. He's gonna get that shield back.
Yeah.
And the only other thing too, for one, like the scene where did you put two and two together here when you saw him kill him, and then all of a sudden after that he's like having dinner with the older Asian man? Did you
It
put?
wasn't it wasn't until there's a line where something like his son was overseas and
Mm-hmm.
killed, and they said wrong place, wrong time. Like after that line, I got it. I didn't get it up until that.
Yeah.
Actually, up until that point when he comes and meets the old man when he's complaining about the guy putting the garbage in his thing, I thought like maybe that was like an old military buddy of
Yep.
Bucky's from way back when.
That's what I thought too. That's
Yeah.
what I thought the whole time. And then as it went on, I was like, oh shit. He's
Yeah.
probably like part of the amends thing, and like, yeah, like that. Because
Yet a
talk about
yet a
another thing that gets on your
tugs
heartstrings
at
a
the
bit.
heartstrings. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's
God, they
really
just
good.
yeah,
Yeah, they have some good
crazy.
writing, and it's also the way it's acted. Because like I heard someone else
Oh,
talking about
yeah.
this too. It's like that end scene with Sam when he's watching the shield stuff happen, and you just see the pain that he's going through on his face. You don't get that without the performance that he's giving, and it was lifted and elevated because of the performance that he gave at the beginning of the thing when he's giving the speech, when he's like
Yeah,
saying like why he's turning in the shield and what Captain America represents and all this stuff. Like
yeah,
that's what gives that end thing like so much weight, and there's so much
yep,
payoff there, and it's like because of the performances are great. Like
yeah,
whenever I'm watching Sebastian Stan as Bucky, I just see Bucky. Like I just see the Winter Soldier. Like him, and then same with Sam and God, I can't even remember his name now. Anthony Mackie. Like they just become the characters. Like
mhm,
it's just like Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. Like he's
yeah,
just synonymous with the role anymore. But it's because they just do such a goddamn good job. Like they're
yeah,
just so good at it.
yeah.
It's crazy.
You can't picture somebody else doing that
Yeah,
role. Yeah,
it's very difficult to. And then we have the Flag Smashers. So we have that scene though where the Flag Smasher thing, I really don't think they're going the same way the comics did the Flag Smasher thing. I think it's kind of like their own, like they needed some weird group, so they just picked something and they're doing their own thing with it, is my
mhm,
guess. And
yeah,
because the one of them, whoever the hell it was, had powers, or at least super strength.
yep,
And it was so stupid. I don't know how I can't find the scene here. But the dude kicks the guy across the room, and then Torres comes up like this close to him with a gun, and it's like, "You're under arrest." Like, dude, you're
Yeah.
stand 20 feet away and just yell that at
It's
him.
a gun. It's not a
Yeah,
not a close range weapon. Like,
like,
you don't need to
yeah,
be 2 feet away to use a
yeah.
gun.
I was like, What an odd choice. Like, you deserve what just happened to you after that, you idiot."
Sure.
But, yeah, I don't know where they're going with that. I like though, I forgot to mention this when we talked about this, after we just watched it. Um, I like the ideology behind the group. That, like, there's this a group of people out there who believe Thanos was right. I like that. I think that is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it is something that would 100% happen. Because there's
Yeah.
already people in our world, like, in our reality who say, I've said it before, like, "Thanos wasn't wrong." Like, when you see someone doing stupid shit, like, you're like,
Sure.
"Well, Thanos
You
wasn't wrong." Like,
you see the world kind of
tearing itself apart.
tearing itself apart. You see people doing things that, doing everything they can to hurt other people rather than help and lift up people. Then yeah,
Mhm.
you see greed and selfishness kind of becoming more prevalent. And yeah, definitely there's that. It's the constant battle, I think, just inherent in everybody of, is what's the nature of mankind? Is it, or is it good? Is it evil? Is it bad? Is it both? And so
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think that I like the setup for it. So, I hope
Sure.
they don't just end up being kinda mustache twirly about it, because I feel like inevitably, because at some point Zemo has come into play. So, maybe Zemo is, like, actually in charge of them, and that's how he connects to it. Like, maybe
Yeah.
he developed the Flag Smasher group, maybe he's the leader of it or something. Because elsewise, what is he gonna do? Is he just gonna do the same thing he did before? Like, I wonder, because that's the only thing that's kind of interesting with Zemo is, like, we don't know what happened to him when Thanos did snap. So, like, was he
True.
dusted, or did he live through it and, like, now has more axes to grind because of what happened through it or something? Like, who knows? I liked Zemo though too. I thought he was fine. I thought it was very comic booky in the, like, his arc, because it was like
Mhm.
a very specific plan that would only work in a comic book. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn the Avengers against each other, and I would have to know this very key piece of information that only Bucky knows, but I know it, so I gotta get everyone else to know it. Like, it's very comic booky for that, but
Yeah.
I liked the character. I thought I can't remember his name, Daniel something. He did a good job playing him. So I'm glad he's coming back. So I'm curious to see where he's going to fit into it. So my early
I
prediction is that he's a part of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good prediction. Um, I like that this series and WandaVision too, that just because Endgame is over, just because Endgame ended, um, they're not just kind of disregarding everything that happened. I mean, obviously, losing half of the world's population is going to be a huge catastrophic event that's going to have serious repercussions, both with the loss, but then also the return of people. And I love the fact that WandaVision, they started dealing with that with Monica coming back, but then in this one you're seeing how it's affecting everyday people with like banks and stuff. Like, literally the world established a new normal with half of the people gone. There was a new,
Hmm.
and for half of those people to just show up again, it's going to put a strain on production and resources and the financial sector and all that stuff. And they find a great way of humanizing those aspects and making it intriguing without the problem of that the Phantom Menace had, which is making political social stuff boring. Like,
Yeah.
the Trade Federation stuff in Star Wars is so dull, and like you understand why. Like I have an appreciation now for it after the sequels,
Yeah, but when you
but
were 10
even
years old, you're
it's
like,
like,
what is this peace
what's a
treaty?
Trade Federation War? What is that? Like, even not even just 10, like even now, I still think that like
Right.
it's a little heavy-handed, it's a little much, but Marvel is dealing kind of with similar type of subjects, but they're finding a way to do it that humanizes it and makes it interesting and
Mm-hmm.
intriguing without getting caught in the minutia of the actual specifics of it. And it's just such great writing. They just, man, I'm so jealous and lucky to be able to have these shows in this
Yeah.
universe.
It's an embarrassment of riches, man. I will say though too, I actually like his suit. The US agent, I think it looks
Oh
cool.
yeah.
I think it looks good. I
Yeah, it's
the helmet needs work. It looks like it's too big for the dude's head, but that aside,
yeah.
I like the actual suit. I think it looks cool. It's like an updated version of the stealth suit. Like, I
Dude,
think it
you
looks
talk
good.
about a square jaw, like, man.
Yeah.
Like somebody threw up the picture of this cat with
He's a
next to the
very
dude
rectangular
from
face.
Up.
Yeah. He
Was it the
does
old man
he
from Up?
does
And
look
like,
like that.
dude, I cannot see him
Oh,
anymore
man.
without seeing the dude from Up, like because somebody memed that. I was
That's
just like,
exactly what he looks like too. That's funny.
but
Yeah,
like
that's good.
they took square jaw and like went literal with that.
Yeah, that's funny.
So
I hadn't seen that meme. That's exactly what that looks like. That's hilarious.
yeah.
But the suit looks cool though.
Yeah, the suit's
No,
yeah, it's
no,
decent.
it looks good. But we'll see. I'm curious. I wonder because Falcon's suit's new too. I think Falcon's suit looked pretty good. The one he was rocking at the beginning,
Yeah.
like that was
Yep.
cool. Like that.
Yep.
Bucky just wears a leather jacket, so that's kind of boring. But Bucky,
We didn't I haven't gotten into this part of it, but I told you last night on stream, like we were talking about like I was trying to get some clarification from you if you knew how long it was. And I think we decided it's probably like 6 episodes.
yeah, that's what we were
Um,
saying.
but I was actually really surprised given that the premise is, the name of the show is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was surprised you go the entire first episode without them even
Yeah,
talking, let alone sharing the screen together. They don't even talk in the first episode. And the other thing, like you've mentioned already, is Zemo's supposed to be in this, and he doesn't make an appearance in the first episode. So it's going to be interesting to see how the pacing of this works out and how they um either slowly build it or quickly build it because
hmm
of the shorter episode count. But you did also mention that the episodes are longer than
thank God they are
WandaVision.
too.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know it's not by much, but I mean, do you think, man, those WandaVision episodes were like 25 minutes, we'll say on average.
Yeah.
This one was 45 minutes, man. Like that's 20 more minutes. That's almost twice as long. Like, and it felt so much better watching this to me. Like I loved WandaVision. It was fine. It was a great show, fantastic. But sitting there watching this, like I was satisfied with the amount of content I got out of it. It was great.
Mhm.
Like the length is perfect. 45 minutes is like my ideal length version. 42, 45, like perfect length. Like that is like the sweet spot for me. I think it feels great. So, I mean, I'm this is also the same person like you. We sat through 4 hours of Justice League and we're just like, where's the rest of it? like,
Yeah.
where's part two at? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Longer the better, obviously. That's what she said. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was pleasantly. It was I loved the episode and everything. Uh, It was honestly kind of like what I expected, but there were some things like the Bucky therapy. I didn't expect the heartstrings, you
I was
know?
just gonna say, yeah, like
Like
there were elements that were like I expected cool action scenes, which we obviously they opened with that,
mhm.
but I didn't expect so much of the like I expect they always do a great job with character development. So I don't know why I didn't expect that, but they did an even better job because like you mentioned, like we haven't gotten full backstories on these two characters yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Winter Soldier, you have more so than Sam, but they're really fleshing out these characters now. It's great to see.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I liked it. I'm excited to see where the rest of it goes. Like Yeah, I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I I don't know what I'm gonna do at the end of April when this series ends, and I do have to wait. Like I'll get through it. I know I will because I just made it through over a year
2020, yeah.
without MCU stuff.
Right.
I think that first. I mean, we went a week last week without an MCU thing, so it's gonna be like I'll be counting the days until Loki starts. I think after that,
Yeah,
but
we're being
I'm getting
spoiled.
ahead. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got five good weeks left. I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah.
and
That's
thank
the
God we do though, because if we had gotten this and Justice League and then had nothing for 2 months, I would have been kind of going a little bit nutty.
yeah. Yeah, well, this thing was we're getting spoiled because of the way Mandalorian ended and then rolled into WandaVision and then rolled into
Yeah,
this. And then so when that time does come, because then we have on top of Justice League and then Kong and then
yeah.
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat, like
Kombat.
we're gonna hit a lull at some point and it's gonna
Yeah,
feel awful. But the lull is just gonna be like a month. And
yeah.
we're still gonna be like starved for content. It's just because of the
I'll have to
embarrassment of riches.
I'll have to mark that month down on my calendar so I can write down all the projects and stuff I'm supposed to be doing that I'm putting off to
Yeah,
consume
for
all this
sure.
right now and make a list so that I can do it during that month and try and get my responsibilities somewhat in check.
No, that's just the month that we just dive into WoW, and that's all we do.
Okay, okay,
We
good.
just we'll just focus on that. Like, we get
Yeah,
all the
great.
no, we need to get that done though too. Are you gonna
Yep.
did you like that though? You wanna keep playing WoW?
Yeah, no, it was fun. I liked it. We kind of blitzed that first opening area, so
Oh
I'm
yeah, that's how it
curious
is.
like what what more
What
there
the
is to
game
do.
actually is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the starting area very much is just like a
Tutorial.
tutorial, yeah, it
Yep.
really is, which is great though because like now you have a so much better of an understanding as to going into it than like we had when we
Sure.
started playing the game. Because back in the day, there were no add-ons, there was nothing, no quest helpers, nothing to tell you what to do. You just here you go,
Yep.
and just walk around. So that was fun. But you got anything else you want to add on Falcon Winter Soldier?
No, just yeah. I mean, it's been a terrific past. Well, it was a terrific, 24-hour period
It
between
was good.
Justice League, sitting down to watch Justice League, and then when I wrapped up with Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
Yeah, like I literally watched the Justice League and then it slipped my mind until the next morning that Falcon Winter Soldier was even coming out. I don't know how, but so I
yeah,
woke up and I was like, "Oh yeah, I get to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier." Like I was very
that's
happy
awesome.
about it. So it was very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Never happen again though. We're never gonna have a back to back like that like ever again. I feel like that was
Yeah.
very cool. Well, John, where can everybody find you online then?
I'm over at Twitter and Instagram at Nightwing_K.
Fantastic, and
So
you can. There you go for it.
you'll see my initial reactions to things like Justice League and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think over there. So yeah, check that out.
There it is, and also check us out every Friday on stream. We stream, we play video games. Like we just started playing WoW. It was John's first time. Well, I've been playing since the game came out, but it was John's first time playing WoW, so we're getting into that. Every Wednesday, we got collectible reviews go up. I believe this week will be the 40th anniversary Hot Toys Darth Vader review. That one will be live up on the channel. The most recent one was the Hot Toys Deathstroke that we brought up earlier. You can go take a look at that. It's a wonderful figure. Full reviews up there now. And then every Friday, along with just we do our initial reactions to, Falcon Winter Soldier or whatever big thing is. We normally have like a spoiler discussion about that. We get into some games, do some figure unboxings, and if I got something new in, everything like that. But elsewise, you can just follow me at Bifo. And then don't forget, you can submit topics and questions to the show by emailing us at honestanduneducated@gmail.com. That's honestanduneducated@gmail.com. But that will do it for us today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. But until next time, guys, take care.